All righty, so we should be live on both TikTok and Facebook. TikTok say what's good to Facebook, Facebook say what's good to TikTok. We're doing this simultaneously just so they're on both networks and we can use them. This is going to be quick. This is going to be a recap of some of the stuff that we got going on, some real life matrix engineering. So this is just putting this into the network. It's just easier to go live and put it all out there. And I can chop up some of this later. So what we have is pretty much the creation of a real life center that was kind of talked about at the end of Black Panther, a STEAM center with giving back built into it. So it's good to the people joining on TikTok. So the idea is to have the creations of this center fund the center. A lot of the projects with STEAM, and you're seeing a lot of the artistic side of it with what's being put out now. So you're seeing that side, and now we're engineering the other side. So we've created the artistic side to film the creation of the engineering labs, pretty much. And we're going to get everything from apps to dealing with AI. But we'll start small and we'll build our way up. But the plan is there. You can look at it at SIA STEAM, STAM, SIASTEAM.com, and you'll see the plan there. And the idea was to make it viable financially, but also have giving back built into it. And just giving a quick example, the movie Black Panther, and you'll see the post that I just did not too long ago. I'm going to kind of recap this. The movie Black Panther made over $1 billion, 1.3 billion. Had 400, the budget was 200 million, and I think 476 million profit. And at the end of that movie, there was a outreach center that the Wakandans were going to build in the ghetto, pretty much, where they were going to, begin educating those people and catching them up to the technology that the Wakandans had, right? And they had spaceships and UFOs and all of this stuff, right? So that's at the end of that movie. But the thing is that movie made enough profit where they could have actually created that center. So I thought about that and said, well, what if you created a movie or a situation to where you can do that? So that's the plan that you're going to see unfold now. And we're going to be doing some public crowdfunding, if you will, or seed funding, however you want to look at it. And that's what we got going on. So this is just part of that story, because part of it is putting it out there and also showing that example. And it's going to be a learning experience as well, because this is starting from scratch. So we're recording this, Matrix Engineering Live, and then we got the reality show called The Truman Show, which is about a guy that woke up in the Matrix, and just started documenting that, especially and continue growing, continue evolving. So this is real life stuff, and it's all about the divinity that's within each and every one of us, the consciousness and spirit within us. And science is starting to catch up to that. So true spirituality and science has no qualms, and they're both looking at the same thing from different perspectives. Alrighty, so you can see plenty of stuff we talked about dealing with that in the past. Appreciate all people that were joining. And but now is actually doing real life engineering type of systems. We have systems that were created and that are functioning, that are built to benefit a few at the hands of the many, or are built to not allow the full expression of the human being. So now we're creating systems that also play in the financial realm, in the financial sphere. We understand we're living in a capitalistic society, so it has to work financially. So that's the plan we're showing. But built into that is giving back. So we're showing a different way in which you can try to balance economics with the environment and with the community. So we'll see how it works. This is all part of the experiment. We're all doing this live. Right. So this is a new way of doing stuff in this matrix. Right. So we're testing this out. This is matrix engineering. So we'll see if the mass consciousness program will accept this upgrade or this change, because it's a seed of potential that could potentially spread out. And it's going to be beneficial in a lot of different ways. But again, it's just showing the potential. And part of that is just showing the possibility. And then you can see, oh, well, this happens all the time with other companies, but these individuals don't have the time or resources or the will to do this in a situation that helps more than just a select few. So that's what we got going on. And now we're tying all the story together. So we're going to just be campaigning, and we got all the stuff out there. We're going to be campaigning pretty much all next year. This is kind of the plan, because this is something that we can codify, that can again be a system that people can benefit from, that we can benefit from, that could be a matrix program for good, if you will. So, and we're installing this. This is something real. So you're seeing it right now. And the thing is, it had to be created to make money, because investors are going to look at that. Even if someone is not even spiritual or cares anything about anything to do with their community and just wants to make money from a selfish standpoint, it even benefits them from that standpoint, because we'll take that individual's investment and do something good with it, and then the profits from that is what makes that sustainable, and that's the system that we're creating. So that way, a lot of the STEAM programs that have that go on now, they run out of funds. Right. So the idea is to have a system where it generates its own funds, because I've experienced that as well, dealing with arts and stuff like that. And when you're trying to explain to the students why the system is no longer functioning because this funds and that, that's not a story that that we should be telling, especially if it's been beneficial. So that's something that we're going to look to do. What is this? All righty. So that's all I wanted to say. We're going to keep this one relatively short. Yeah, you're going to see the stuff being tied together. So part of what's going to be released, I did a documentary dealing with Charleston White. A lot of the views, the second most viewed item that I had on my YouTube channel was some stuff with Charleston White, and I shot a documentary about him because he was talking about some stuff in the mainstream and in the hip hop community. I don't know if you know Charleston White; he's controversial from that standpoint, but he was making a lot of good points. So I wanted to talk to him, and we actually went and interviewed him. And while we were there, we shot a little documentary with him. So we're going to be releasing that documentary out to the public, and it's going to have bits and pieces of some of the things that we're going to be doing in the future. So you're going to see all that's coming out. So it's all this stuff's coming out in the public. So we're just doing this live, and this is also part of me just kind of practicing what I preach, because I'm not a big fan of going live and all of that stuff, but it's what needs to happen from the marketing standpoint, right? So I appreciate y'all joining. Goodness, we ain't got no likes. All right, everybody's about out of there, but we recorded what we got to do. Appreciate y'all joining. Stay tuned. All this is just being documented. The free guy in the matrix, if you will, trying to install the program that helps create the digital 100th monkey effect, if you will. And it's real, it's live, and you're seeing it unfold in front of your eyes. So you're going to have a choice whether you watch, support it, or or ignore it. But the idea is to get as many eyes on it and show the potential of something like this. And whether this idea works or not, it may spark other ideas of different ways that you can balance profit and purpose, putting purpose before profit with the corporation, and building in sustainability and giving back, and kind of filling some of the gaps that we have in our education system in a systemic way that is not reliant on any external entities, if you will. So that's the idea. We'll see where it goes. You can see that it's viable. You can see that it can make money. And the thing is, we are recording this production, right? So just the story of awakening in this matrix is also interesting enough, right? Just really, when you think about all the stuff that's going on, the story of what's happening in this reality is a lot crazier than fiction. So we'll be able to tell that story on a different level. And we're doing that on a different level in the public, and we're ahead of the game by a good ways. But you can also see that the level of consciousness of the masses is rising. The conversation that we're having now, the conversation that we were having 10 years ago is different. So there has been a shift in consciousness, and it's increasing. And I think now is the time to take advantage of it. And that's the plan. That's what we're going to do. So any questions, any comments, y'all feel free to let me know. Appreciate y'all that were listening here. Just wanted to put this on the servers and get this into the other AIs that are watching all of this yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that are coming out. Reality is stranger than fiction. What's going on in this reality right here, right now, is crazier than any sci-fi movie that's out there. All righty. Appreciate it. Oh, and I'll say this before I get out of here because we do have 0 likes. So I did finish the track called Zero Likes. And for those that care, and most people don't, we were recording this live and we did the whole production of it live. And now we have those those things kind of narrowed down. And it was a freestyle before, and then we kind of wrote the lyrics down. So I look at freestyle as almost like channeling from a musical standpoint. And it's pretty cool to see what comes out because the things I don't know what's going to happen, with that's a freestyle. That's the whole idea. So yeah, so we take that freestyle and then now we refine it and we got, all of these lyrics from that freestyle. And it's going to be 2 parts. The Zero Like song, it's going to be 2 parts where it's going to be Zero Likes part 1 and part 2. And we're going to play with that and release that. But the creation of it was live, and that's just also playing with the artistic part, the A in STEAM, if you will, and being able to create something from nothing, because all of us have that creative talent and ability, and that applies to creative problem solving. So that's why the artistic ability and being able to be creative is important, not just to play an instrument or things of that nature, but it helps with problem solving in other ways as well. So that's what we got going on. Y'all check out Cy Esteem. I know it's late. I guess some of you guys are on the West Coast or whatever, but I went live on my YouTube as well. If y'all don't follow on the socials, go ahead and do all of that because it's going to get interesting. We're going to apply a little more pressure to the potential gatekeepers of this reality. And so from not just a scientific standpoint, we talked before about a spiritual war. If there's a spiritual war, then I guess you could say I'm a spiritual warrior potentially, but not one that's going to be fighting in the traditional sense. We're going to be more smart and use our mind versus our we're playing chess and not checkers, if you will. So this has been years in the making. You can Google Vikter Bang, VIKTERBANG. It stands for victory over noise. There's a lot of noise in this reality that keeps us in a frozen lower state of consciousness. So what I've done in talking is put out the things that helped me on my journey and kind of things that I would have liked to have seen and heard to hopefully save time. And I know I'm just someone talking and you have to experience these things for yourself, but the idea is to show the possibility and be an example of that in the open and talk about these things freely. It's like that's one of the things you can see about my story is just to talk about these things freely and to to see what happens when you stand on your ground. Like it's not even standing your ground, it's just a lot of people will ridicule you for questioning and say you're crazy. But then when you say, well, what's crazy? What part about it is crazy? Let's get specific. What part of this doesn't make sense? Because you looked at this, that, and the other, and you can really narrow things down, right? So to be able to have an intelligent conversation about these things, because a lot of these belief systems, and there's scientific belief systems as well, are one way to get intelligent people to do unintelligent things. And I've had conversations with people that would agree with everything from a scientific standpoint about what's going on, and even that we're spiritual beings having a human experience. But then they say, but they draw the line with these belief systems that are pretty much just like blinders, potentially. If they're not liberating you, then you should definitely look at them and see what their benefit is. If it's just something that's propagating fear and not allowing you to navigate life in a way that is more free, and then yeah, it's a limiting thing. It sounds like, and that's something that each individual has to figure out for themselves, because people can identify with those belief systems. But the idea, I'm not dealing with any belief systems. People hold on to those pretty close. I'm just saying that there is a light that's within all of us. And the idea is to find that light, illuminate that light, and then that light shines through you. And that's the whole spiritual journey, if you will. And I'm not adding anything to the individual. It's really about removing the programs that have been added to us to reveal what's left. All right, that's what we got going on. Didn't say we were going to go long. Just wanted to kind of make this announcement. Just going to kind of let things work its way into the interwebs. It's what the 21st of December, 11:45 p.m. my time. So this is the other side of the what the Mayan calendar was December 21st, 2012, right? So that's when supposedly the long count calendar switched, and we're on the another side. Just imagine another timeline. So I really do think we had the potential to do some different things. We're going to see some interesting things that'll come up, and I'm not saying a lot on purpose. So but uh it's not going to be from a bullying standpoint. We'll talk about this before. We're not bullying anybody because again, if someone's blind, then someone that has a more clear vision, it's if you're interacting with that person in a bullying way, that's not it's not constructive. But there's a way that we can have conversations and be okay with being firm, and you just see a little more of that. That's all I say on that. All righty. Appreciate y'all joining in. And yeah, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. 0 likes. We'll just it's funny. It's like Tupac said, like me against the world. It's interesting, like being that person, because no one wants to be that person, right? Like, who wants to be the one to stand up against the church and state of your day, the power of day? Who wants to be the Jesus of their time? Like, you don't want that smoke, right? Nobody wants to be that individual. That's a role that you look at, even just picking on Jesus, even like someone like a Martin Luther King, like you hear people saying that they don't want to do those kind of things. So it's just interesting. But just like those people would say, it's never a wrong time to do the right thing. And I feel this is the right thing, at least say the truth. And what am I saying that's not true or that's not possible? And we've tried to codify that. I've even made the 100-degree challenge, really made that very, very simple. You can look at that on Amazon, and it's just a real small book. People don't read it. That's why we're putting a lot online and all that stuff. And it's just a small thing, just questions that it's just a way to remove what you're not, to reveal what's left, right? So that's what we got going on. But you can see all that. You'll see that people like me are here and doing work, and been undercover for a minute. Now we're going to bring things to the light. So it's going to be interesting. And you're going to see people are going to be the gatekeepers. You're going to see they either had information and withheld it from you for reasons of control, or they didn't know. And if they're the individuals that are supposedly have the time and resources to gather this information, and this is someone like myself that has done just what limited amount that I have with limited resources that I've had, right? Working a regular job like most of you guys, right? And gals and all that stuff. So if you have someone that is supposedly the expert on these things and they haven't reached certain things or haven't, it'll be interesting to see and have those conversations and do that in a live environment, because a lot of what we see in the media is controlled, and there's elements to that. But all that will be revealed. 3 things cannot long be hidden. They say the sun, the moon, and the truth. And now the truth is coming to the light. So when they talk about apocalypse and revelation, they're talking about the revealing and the uncovering of what's already there in the truth. So that's the time that we're in now. So I think it's better to align with that than to try to fight that, because that's the time that we're coming on to now. All righty. Like I said, appreciate y'all joining before, but now I'm really going to say it. But is there anything else? I think that's it for now. So y'all have a good one. Have a safe holiday, Christmas, all that good stuff. And 2024, it's gonna be a wild ride. And we've been talking. You can see I've been mentioning, like, probably after this, the next post you'll see from me will be the train deal. We've been talking about the train that's coming, and we'll see. It's been a lot of work leading up to this point. It's not just a fly-by-night thing. So I feel free to shoot holes. This is all done in public. This is the truth is not scared of any questioning, right? So it is what it is. So let's run it and let's see what we do. All right, y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.